Guys, welcome back to Car Spec Garage. Today, we're finishing up the front brakes on the 67 Giulia Sprint GT. All right, guys, I've got both of the discs. I'll just walk around here. I got both of the hubs. Of course, discs are connected to the hubs. I got both of those in there for right now. Now we got to get I got to pack this bearing, and then I'm going to get in there and loosely pack some of the wheel grease in there, or the wheel bearing grease in there. Come around. So one of the things you got to make sure, let me pull out a little bit. Okay, one thing you got to make sure is on this car, the 67, is on the right-hand side, the passenger side, it's just kind of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. On the driver's side is different, so I had to make sure I had the right hubs in the right spot, is lefty-tighty, so there we go, left. So got to make sure that you got the hub in the right spot. All right, so this part's gonna be dirty and greasy getting these wheel bearings packed. The other ones are packed, the ones that are already in there. It's gonna be hard to see, but those are already packed. So we're gonna get the other ones in, get it tightened, back it up, so we make sure we seat the bearings in properly, and then pull them back just a little bit so they turn freely, and then we'll use the new cotter pins and all that and get the caps and lock everything in place. So let me get started on that, and then we'll catch you right back up, show you the progress that we're making. All right, so all I've got left to do is put the cotter pin in. I'm just gonna sit here and rotate them around for a little while, make sure they're not too tight, which I don't think they are. I think that's probably perfect. I'll get the cotter pin in and pack this with a little grease and put it back on. Got to still do the pads. I've got the brake line up there and installed and tightened down. So come over here, same thing here. I've got the wheel on. This one's a little looser. I may tighten it just a little bit. Got the braided brake line in. It's in and secure. Just got to put the pads on. Remember, these are brand new ATEs from Classic Alfa. So I think we're good. Everything's running smooth. I can't complain. Everything looks great. All right, so the next step we're gonna do, which is really tomorrow, but for you it'll be the same day, is I've gotta run a couple of more lines up there, and then run it back to the master cylinder. And then I'm kind of crawling because the car's a little low. And then I've got to figure this out. So I'm gonna have to create a new pipe here that's going to go here and then connect here. So, and then of course we have, the light's not the best, I apologize, but we have braided line here as well. So that's where we are, that's where we're at. All right, so let me come back over. All right, so let's pick up and start working on the brake lines. Really, that'll be tomorrow, which will be the same day for you. All right, hold tight. All right, guys, got the brake line in for the front here. So I'm underneath, or I'm in the engine compartment. So here's the junction where everything goes. As you can see, it comes back up to the booster. I've got to get the reservoir in next and run that down that way. So steel line, here it is, comes this way. and makes the turn down, comes all the way over, makes the turn, another turn, comes in here. I'll straighten that out, makes a turn, comes in, and then terminates back here. So we have got the steel line, the last of the steel lines in, and now just one more line in, and we'll be done with the brakes, and I think we can bleed, and that'll be one thing off the list. All right, we've got the brake reservoir in. So now my next step is we're gonna get a line ran, just like we did on the booster. We're gonna run down to, there you go, to the master cylinder, that's what they call it. And then once that's done, then I think we can start filling up and bleeding everything. And then it's just more continue on the project. So let me get this line ran. We'll show you, we'll button up this video and go from there. And then I just got to get in here and wash. And I think I'm going to do a little bit more polishing in the engine bay while the engine is being, or the head and the block are being attended to, looked at, so we can get those back in. So there you go. All right, hang tight. Okay, the reservoir is back in. Connect it to the pipe, to the brake line. I've got it running down here, and then I'm waiting on one more fitting to come in, and then it'll go into the back of the reservoir, or the master cylinder, excuse me. And then I think we're gonna call that done. So I'm waiting on that piece. So once I get that in, we'll do it and we'll wrap the video up. But again, these are all new brakes, lines, everything is new, nothing was capped. So it should stop, hopefully better than factory, maybe the same, but at least not worse. All right, so we're waiting now on the fitting for down there. It should be in the next day or two. All right, guys, finally got the last piece of the brake fitting in. I don't know why it took so long to get it, but it did. Anyway, so we're gonna put that up here and get the things way up. I gotta drop the card, but let's see where we're at. Yep, gotta add the last brake fitting on, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the gas line in. As you can see, I've already crimped one side here. That's gonna be the one towards the engine, and then we'll unroll this thing out and get it to the back, get the rubber hose on the back to the gas tank and get all that straightened out. So we'll be doing that as well to finish up the brake video. All right, guys, stay tuned, and I'm gonna get the car down, get the hood off so I can take the brake line out so I can crimp it. All right, guys, got the last of the brakes, the brake fitting here, got it on to the reservoir line. So it goes up, travels up, all the way up to the top of, way up there. There you go. I've got to tighten that one up, but we are done. I'll probably straighten a little bit of the lines up, but we are good here. So now we're gonna run brake lines all the way up to where they sit up here and get that done. So we'll be finished, I think, with all the lines in the car, up underneath the car. All right, so let's get started on that. All right, we've got the fuel line in place. I'll come up here. So this is where it's gonna be. I'm gonna put a little bracket here just to hold it up a little bit further, and then I'll run the rubber hose into that hole up there and through there to the fuel tank. So I use some rubber to secure the line, I guess, just more, more insulation. And then I've got it here. So I think we are good. And of course it'll terminate up there. The rubber line hose will go there to the fuel, to the fuel filter slash regulator, all that fun stuff. So I think we are good here. I'm just gonna do one more connection here. I just want it to ride up top some and hold steady. So I think we're gonna probably wrap up the brakes and the fuel line here. Again, everything's put in place. It's going up to the reservoir and to the booster. We got all the other lines going. I removed this whole brake line and recreated a new one, so we have no junction here. It just goes straight back here. The fuel line, as you can see, runs up and terminates there. All right, guys, I am worn out. That wraps up the brakes and the fuel line. So I think we're pretty much done on that part. There's still more and more and more stuff to do. So till the next episode, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and God bless.